due to copyright laws and difficulties sharing the podcast across different platforms, the music unfortunately had to be removed from the original recordings. I hope this doesn't spoil your enjoyment or interrupts the flow too much.
You are an Iron Man!
We're now at episode 11, and I'm joined today by the one and only Conor Eannetta. Conor, thanks very much for agreeing to come on to the podcast.
Well, Mike, thank you. I'm definitely feeling out of my comfort zone now.
You're in your element whenever you're dressed in rubber, jumping into the sea and lapping on bikes. And
exactly. I'm more comfortable there than sitting here.
Conor, me and you were both reared in Strathroy, so I suppose we would have had kind of fairly similar childhoods in terms of the environment that we were both reared in and the times that they were.
Definitely, yeah. I mind you in Strathroy, and on your earlier podcasts, and that BMX jumps and lining the boys up, right, who can jump the furthest.
Aye, all so that sort of crack, yeah.
Nobody wanted to be the last person in the line.
The man that lay at the very end of that line was he had bigger cojones than the rest of us, maybe.
Definitely.
What was your memories of growing up in Strathroy back in the... You're not that much older than me.
No.
There was only a couple of years between us, so sort of early 70s throughout the 80s till we became teenagers in the mid 80s. What do you think when you think back now to the Strathroy days?
Oh, Strathroy days, like you always knew your neighbours, door never locked, and you're chased out and told not to come back in until the street lights come on.
That's right.
So it was dinner time, you knew, and you were only told to once.
Aye, there was no messing.
No messing at all.
It was a noisy estate, wasn't it?
It was. But you knew everybody. Whereas now, today, like if I went out to Strathroy, I wouldn't know. I still know some of the old favourites in there. You have Mickey Kelly and Fergus McCabe and the O'Neills are still in Strathroy.
Aye.
So they'll still be there. Same houses where they've always been when I lived there.
I always run through Strathroy when I'm out running,
So with the wee back road to the river, Argus.
I think there's something nice about being able to run across that road now, because back in the day you couldn't get in around there at all because it was obviously the army camp.
Yes, that's
and it was a prohibited area,
Well, bar trying to go along the river.
Aye.
At times.
I think it certainly would have been quite dodgy if you were called Michael Collins and you were nabbed snooping in around the army camp back then. But tell me about your kind of journey into triathlon. At what point did things kind of kick in for you, or what was your...
I've always been doing a bit of sport. Mostly I would have been running back in the day throughout school, secondary school, and then I went to college here in the town for 2 years before going to college in Dublin. But that 2 years at college in the town, I seen a wee poster about multi-sport and triathlon put up with a meeting in the youth centre, in the leisure centre.
Right.
So I decided to go along and give it a go. Just something different, because I was swimming as well. I enjoyed swimming and I was doing running. So I went along, and there was only, I'd say, about 8 or 9 people there. So it was. And there was this guy, and he was just introducing his background. He would have done triathlon over in England and Scotland, and he was now living in Noma, and he was trying to branch it out and get it going.
Right.
So it kind of developed from there. Arranged a couple of wee training sessions, like on a Sunday morning cycle, we would have met and just went out to Gorge and Glens and back. But that time I didn't have a bike. I had to borrow bag or steal.
You were on a BMX maybe?
Nah, which wasn't going to cut the mustard. Climbing to the Gorge and Glens. And this is an e-bike now,
Aye.
So it is. So started off at that. And then my first triathlon I was told about was in Jordanstown University, and the sports students were organising it.
Right.
So I was up to there. But little did I know then, the guy, I couldn't drive. I had no access to any car, so I was offered a lift. And the boy says, right, we'll meet at the bus station, and give me a lift. So I got a lift up. And then over time, to various races, because races were very sparse back then. You know, there might be one a month.
Right, okay.
Well, at Jordanstown, we had one in Linavati, and there's one up in Castle Ellen, which is still going today, and Linavati's still going as well. So I started to notice they always arranged for different pickups. You know, maybe one day, maybe down Bank Ireland in Campsite, or bus station, or out by the library. So it is. So I don't know, what's that all about? You know, why is it never the same place? Or like the leisure centre?
Yeah.
Turned out, then over time, it transpired. The guys worked in the camp as well.
They worked in the army camp?
Yeah, they worked in the army camp.
Right, okay.
So it's grand, like the ordinary blokes. I had no problem with that. So it was, but I was going to these events, going different routes. And then also, one of them asked to meet me. No, says, "Morning, we're going to begin. You want to go for a drink and that?" We went for a drink and all. And that's basically them when they said what they'd done. And I realised then I was actually being vetted because I grew up, lived in Strathroy, and they had to check, because of the troubles at the time. No, I can understand they're checking their own personal security.
Sure, yeah.
So they were that I wasn't.
And you didn't have one of those names that your surname didn't exactly say whether you were green or orange or blue or pink.
No, my surname's Italian.
You have the Italian, and maybe that spooked them a bit too.
The mafia.
That's right. So it would have been sort of. So they were just security conscious.
Yeah, very security conscious. Like, but I had no problems. I discussed with my mum and dad, and they were happy. You know, that I continue, but just to be careful of myself.
Sort of never let on.
Don't let on, and I've never spoke about it. So I don't. And that there, now it's different now today. So it is, but back then it was a risky choice.
Jeez, that's unreal.
So it is. But you know, it's enjoyable. Like, even like we went, our open water swims would have been Gorgon Lakes in the day, but they had access to Barnescourt Lake from the Duke Abercorn.
Very good.
And we were down there and swimming, and there's a wee island away at the far end, and a swim up round it and back was over a mile.
Right.
And it was great distance swimming, and unlike Loch Macquarie, it was like peak water. You could see the hand in front of your face underneath.
Yeah.
But it was great swimming.
Unreal. So you had access to some private pristine lakes. And
good facilities.
And then you would have been doing all your pool swimming then, presumably in the leisure centre?
I was in the leisure centre, and there was a couple of times that I was in the camp as well, doing a bit of swimming.
And they had a wee pool in there too, did they?
Yeah.
And what sort of a size was it?
It was it's just short of 25 metres, I think it was about 22 or something. It was only about 4 lane wide. So it was
brilliant.
But I got some good swimming drills from these guys, like, because again, from their PT backgrounds, and so it is. And then doing triathlons over in England and having access to coaches, you know, there was good training programs coming out of it as well. So it is.
You were literally getting the drill sergeant.
Oh, I was getting the
swim.
But it's good. But they're really down there a bunch of guys, you know, like you wouldn't even know what they done as a.
And I suppose that's the great thing about triathlon, you know. Now, and even back then, it was the thing that brought us together.
Exactly, it's totally cross-community, irrespective of ability or what. It's so inclusive. You know, even God forbid somebody would come up in a wheelchair and say, "I want to do a triathlon." There's that facility there to do it now. You know, with the power try and all that, and the handbikes and all.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, that's what makes it. And I know that my triathlon club would be so open to something like that. If somebody would come along and said, "Can I join your swim sessions?"
It would absolutely. It wouldn't be an issue, really.
Yeah.
It's about what we can do.
Exactly.
You know. So, what age were you back then? After, so you've been kind of schooled. What age were you at this time? You were about.
Oh God, now you're asking questions.
Would it have been, you'd have been a young adult then if you were in college?
18, 19, just so it was when I actually ventured into that journey. So there's, because I was a member of the Harriers. Back then we were running, going to the Wednesday night track sessions now, but I'd done a lot of swimming on my own.
Yeah.
So it was nice staying out, putting structure together. And even back in them early days then, getting out on the bike. Of course then, when I went to college, what did I do with my first student loan?
Bought a bike.
I was in college in Dublin, ended up having to work in Burger King in Grafton Street to pay the rent.
So the priority was the bike.
It was the bike, and then worry about the rent later.
So, what was your first bike?
My bike was a Raleigh Townsend. So it was a steel mannequin, as you can call it.
Steel mannequin. So not like our ultralight carbon fibres.
No, I said my mountain bike would be lighter than what I had back then.
That probably explains the size of these calf muscles I'm looking at here.
It's just, I mind doing this. It's like the boys turning up with must have all the money in the world. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen the wheels, the tri-spoke wheels. They're just like 3 spokes, carbon fibre and that. I mind doing a race in Port Rush. And this boy, he had passed me earlier on in the race. And then I was heading out along the north coast towards, what's it, Carlton Rope Bridge and that.
Oh, yes.
So it was quite hilly. I hadn't hope we couldn't ride the bike in the hills at all. There's me passing them with my wee student loan bike still up the hills.
Brilliant.
But he came up to me afterwards and said, "You had a fantastic bike."
So it wasn't really about the bike, really. It
wasn't.
It was you.
It's your mindset. It's how you feel yourself. And, you know, if I worried about everybody passing me, I probably still wouldn't be doing it now.
Aye. That was one of the things that I really appreciated that you gave to me one day, and I don't know if you're aware of the power of what it was, but it was a wee piece of advice. And I remember I was sitting in the swimming pool one evening, and you happened to be in the pool. It was outside of a swimming training, but the two of us were in the shallow end, and I was chatting to you. And I was going through a period of doubt and self-doubt, and I was asking myself questions, and I was questioning myself and my ability, and I was really struggling with the idea, like, you know, what am I at? Who am I kidding? And you settled me very quickly, because you said to me, "Mickey, with respect, do you think you're ever going to win any of these events?" And I said, fuck, no way. That's not going to happen.
Like that now, just you said.
And you turned around and you said to me, "So what are you worried about? You know, at the end of the day, we're all going home with the same medal, and we all go home with the same t-shirt. What are you worrying about?" And it made so much sense to me, and it has really, really helped. It was one of the things, because at that point I was for throwing the towel in. I was thinking, this isn't for me. I'm not good enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not quick enough. I'm not fit enough. All these things, and it was that wee piece of information that you shared with me that actually really, it had a real big impact.
Yeah. No, look, I probably learned from my own mistakes. No, I've been competitive. I've let the watch rule me. Trying to do everything by the watch. Every session need to be quicker than the last session, and all. And you know, from about 2012, I just stopped wearing the watch. And I just go and how I feel, do and enjoy it. And of course, you still have the bad days in the office.
Yeah.
So you do.
Yeah.
But still, I enjoy it. Like, I'm what now? No, it was early 90s I started this. Like, I'm over 30 years doing it now. And I still enjoy it. As if I get that buzz.
Aye.
You know, I don't care if I'm last over the line, but I'm still doing it.
Aye. And
so
that's the bit.
Even like back in the early days, Do you remember the Caliber 10Ks?
Yeah.
So it is the first non-alcohol free beer 10Ks.
That's right,
Was that? Well, there used to be the Milk Challenge, which was a triathlon, and there was called the Air Breakers.
Right.
So you swam 10 legs, cycled 6 mile, and ran 1.5 miles. And if you broke the air, you got invited to the grand final, which was in Eannetta.
Right.
And Oma had, again, it was the boys that I fell in at the very start. They organised one in Oma, so they did. And there was the most serious, and it was a fantastic race. But like, there might only been 40 people doing it then.
Aye.
So there was, but it was great. And I broke the air, I got 58 minutes.
Oh, good man.
And I made it then up to the final. But it was tough. In the final game, there was only, might have been about 100 people max throughout. But again, a lot of them were all university students or, again, boys that would have worked in the camps and that, because triathlon was bigger over in England and Scotland and all than here at the time, so it was only starting. But it was good crack.
And at what point then did things start becoming a wee bit more structured with regards to triathlon sort of picking up within the Oma area and within Ireland? Was it?
Well, we had started picking up a lot, I say about from 93, 94 on. Me and Sean Healy would have started doing a lot of training together, you know, going out and that. And we both went to, I think it was 94, the All-Ireland Irish Championships for the half Ironman distance.
Alright, okay.
Me and Sean went down and done it, down in Ross's Point in Sligo. And we were down there, we went down and done it. And one thing I remember about it was it was quite a calm swim. We went to the far beach and you kind of swum out round the rock head and then the beach into Ross's Point. And then the cycle that was up round, there's a Glencar waterfall and all up
oh
round
yes,
there.
lovely.
So it's quite a hilly route. And then the run was like a lap way out into Sligo and back in the Ross's Road. But the water, because it was sponsored by NFC Milk or something, the water was in milk cartons.
Right.
And nobody was taking it because they thought it was milk.
I thought it was milk.
Yeah. And I mind chatting, meeting Sean on the run, was chatting to Sean, "You not get water?" Sean said, "Yeah, any water?" I go, "No." And he goes, "There's only milk at the feed stations." But I said, "No, that's water. They put water in it." So of course he was, but then the two of us crossed the line together that year. But it kind of built from that, because more clubs, Northwest got developed, Triangle was going, Olympian and Belfast, and then the wee club in Oma. You know, there was only a handful. So Albert Law was part of it too back in the day. So I was.
So the committee, I suppose, the first ever committee or the first ever meeting or that first ever notion about, well, we start up a wee club here. And I know on a previous podcast, Peter Scaffington kind of talked about it and how he's kind of got together and he knew what not to do as a club. I think was the way he described it. Can you remember them chats and them days and them kind of feelings that...
Well, it was kind of like, I wouldn't call them probably formal meetings. They were like kind of organised on the way to a race or talked about on a training session.
Aye.
If you know what I mean.
Yes.
It wasn't like we're meeting tonight at 7 o'clock at the Lighthouse Centre, you know.
Aye.
It was very informal. So it was, and there was a case like, there's a race on 2 weeks' time up in Glenavada, are we going? You know, and there was no bank account, no funds, that everybody was self-sufficient.
Yeah.
So it was, but like, one of the big races would have been Lane Ball in its day, right? And the best thing about Lane Ball was, it was always the home counties championships, where Scotland, England and Wales and Ireland all sent teams, like their top juniors or top elites. I've seen the likes of probably, I'm trying to think of a few names. You had Glenn Cook from England, again top triathlete in his day. Gosh, who else was it? Simon Lessing, Spencer Smith, them two guys went on to be world champions.
Right.
So they did all over racing, and who was going to lift the home nation's crown, and this was all happening in Lane Ball.
That's unreal.
I know on Peter's podcast there was a slightly longer distance back then, but that there was all built around that, back in the early days. And I don't even think the home nations happens anymore.
Right.
But it'd be great to see something like that revived.
That would be.
You imagine Alistair Brownlee coming over to this in Derry,
that would be fun. That would be unreal, actually, wouldn't it?
So it is. Oh, aye. But we had that. We would go down. We'd have our normal age groupers race beforehand, and then in the afternoon was the elite sol racing and the top juniors. Like you're sitting watching future world champions. And on that point, sorry, I was digressing. Ballyronan up in Loughney, High Elbow Club organised. We done the wee Ballyronan event up there, standard distance. So we were doing it, and they had got a European Triathlon Club race the next day up there. So we were all back up watching it. And who finished 4th and 5th? 2 young cubs. One was a Spaniard and one was the British guy. Any guesses who they were?
No idea.
Alistair Brownlee and Gomez.
There you are.
They were only 17 and they were racing in Ballyronan at the time. And that was the start, over the next 10, 20, 15 years, the start of their rivalry. You know, on the world stage.
That's fantastic.
No, just to be there, sitting watching the world. See that two wee cubs.
Them two wee boys are fair flying around that
Exactly,
course.
but finishing in the top 10, you know.
Aye.
So that just showed the calibre of what was coming through. And even look, they're still both formidable now on the world stage.
Absolutely. But I wonder, will they have the longevity that you have had?
Oh, jeez.
Do you think will they be hanging up the Nikes and
Don't know, maybe they might want to work a little next.
Aye, maybe.
So it is.
That's your journey, kind of from Strathroy to participating, gathering your bits and bobs, scrimping and saving, getting your bike, travelling up and down the country.
Student loans are great back then.
Student loans only for them, eh? Secret training in secret places with secret people, all sorts of stuff going on.
Learning wee tricks of the trade, as they say.
That's a brilliant story. Hey, that's amazing. That's
it's good.
wild
No,
interesting.
like, that's the way before. Like I laughed. I think it was last summer, was it? We had the wee club race, with the teams in the water, and me and Nell McDermott were against each other in the water, and Nell, he needs to learn to swim stick. He was drifting out to the right away from the boy. He was pushing me out, but we got to the boy, and one of the tricks I had learned is how to turn around the boy pretty quick, and I put 10 metres into my head just by doing the turn.
Right.
And because he come up to me afterwards, how did you turn like that? You just got away from me. He said, and he busted himself for the last 100 metres to get back up to me.
There we go.
So it is.
And a good tradesman won't give away his secrets, do they?
I love seeing complete beginners coming in, and first thing they go and say, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And I always think, first thing I would say, I always think, impossible. What do you see in that word?
Possible.
So, I'm possible.
I'm possible. Yeah, good one.
So it is. And I just say that to them and just leave it there and say, I'll see you later.
Have a wee think about that and come back to me whenever you've worked that one out.
There's many a time. There's ones like up in the lock. Like, there's a boy I know, brilliant pool swimmer. So I did, and he thought he'd come up to the lock with us to swim. He got into the lock, he didn't even get to the first buoy, he took a panic attack and got out.
Aye.
There's no black line in the bottom of the lake to follow.
No.
And he's so used to that, and his mindset's so set to that.
Yeah, it's a different animal, isn't it?
Different animal. But see, after a few weeks in, his pool swimming soon converted over to open water.
Yeah.
But he had to change his mindset.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, look, I was good in my day. Looking at me now, you wouldn't think at all. But it's still mind over matter.
It absolutely is. But that's one of the real good things about you, Conor. Is that attitude that you have, and you have an infectious kind of ability to give that to others. You know.
Oh, cheers.
No, you do give it. You give it in bucket loads, because I know there's some of our club members that are heading out to Lanzarote now shortly, and I know that you've been keeping in touch with those guys, and there's one of them in particular has been telling me that, you know, that she's been getting some great chats with you and stuff, you know. So
right. Well, that's good to hear.
What about your Lanzarote then? I know you're heading out to the event. Are you participating?
I'm going for a holiday. No, I'm not participating, unfortunately. I've had a few health issues over the last couple of years, which have kind of impeded on my training. Mm-hmm. But now I'm finally getting to the bottom of them. So I'm hoping now I had entered Lanza this year, but I got it deferred to next year. So now I'm giving myself like a 12-month period to get the training and get back up. I've done Lanza before and I just about finished it. Uh-huh. So I did. But this time Lanza's the beast on its own. It's something, you know. I know I rock up here and I do an event and I enjoy it and finish, but sometimes for Ironman you need to give it the respect. You know, you don't think that you can just turn up and do it without training or minimal training. Aye. So it is, because it's going to chew you up and spit you out.
The volcanoes are going to win.
Yes. Uh-huh. You know yourself, you've cycled out there.
I've cycled there, and it's no mean task. Like, you know,
the head tears nothing compared to what you get out there.
I described it as like a hairdryer.
Yeah.
On the second setting, just relentless, like just blowing in your face, and there's no let up. The only change in the wind is when it gusts even stronger, and then it rocks back down to like 20 mile an hour. You know, your default wind's about 20 mile an hour.
I know, but I don't know, is it the challenge of it or something? You know, I'm not letting you beat me. You know, because last time I done it, 2 years ago, I DNF'd, I got 14 mile of the run, and I just out of energy.
It
just wasn't there, and you know, and then Teresa was out with me too the way for a holiday, and if I kept pushing and end up in the medical tent, it wasn't just me that was. I may as well stay in the medical tent and not come out.
You'd have been spending the night there instead of the hotel room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but all due respect to any race, even somebody doing the first try. Mm-hmm. You know, you need to do that wee bit of training, just even for the settling in the head coming into it.
To know that you can, or to know that you've got the ability to get there. Yeah, and they understand that it might be a bit of a push, but if you've done the training, then there's a big weight off your mind. Like,
all the work's in the training. I actually believe the Ironman is the training.
Aye.
If you do the training, you'll be surprised what you learn about yourself. The actual race itself is the end goal.
Yeah.
So
I know that.
Like you had a real struggle on the run and cart. Uh-huh. You know, your hamstrings playing up and
yeah.
You know, but for you to get to that stage, like what did you go through?
Well, that's exactly it. I always said, you know, if at the very beginning of my training program, if someone told me that I could get 10k into the run on the day of Ironman after doing 8 months of training, injury free, would I take it? I would have said yes, I'd take that. And at the time, whilst I was disappointed in that my body had let me down, I was very quick to remind myself that if I hadn't have done the training, I wouldn't have even got to this run.
You wouldn't have got to the start line.
No, I wouldn't have got to the start line, is right, let alone the run.
No.
You know, having come off the bike and even so.
You would have done that swim, and the first thing you go, what the frig am I doing here? Like, how many people actually go and swim 3.8 kilometres? I know. You know, people get into the pool and if they do a kilometre, they're brilliant.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I would have never swam those distances until I joined the tri club. Yeah. And I remember coming home actually from the first night of the pool, and I looked at my watch and I was absolutely high as a kite, because I came into to my home and I said to my wife Cleona, I said, look, I'm after swimming 2 kilometres. And she went, what? How many lengths is that? And I went, I've no idea. But I was just buzzing that I had swum.
But you do more than the training than you realise.
You do.
Yeah.
You do a lot more in the training than you realise, is right. Well, let's play a wee song and then we'll have a chat about Ironman. We've touched on it there. So we'll play a wee track and then we'll have a wee chat about that.
Okay.
So Conor, we're both sitting here in our shorts. It's a lovely day in Omagh at the minute.
Yeah.
And I'm looking down at your massive calves. From all them years of running and cycling. But the one thing that I'm drawn to is you have a very unique take on the Ironman tattoo. So anybody that hasn't seen it and anybody that's listening that won't get to see it, rather than the classic M dot tattoos always kind of traditionally put on the back of the calf, and you have that on your left calf, but on Conor's right ankle, on the outside of his ankle, he has the M dot, and he's got, how many is there? 6?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So there's 6 miniature M dots making their way around the girth of your ankle there. Each of them emblazoned with the emblems of the countries that you've completed Ironman. Would that be it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, judging by the tattoos, you've done 6 Ironman.
6 in one DNF.
6 and a bit.
6 and a bit.
6 and 3/4.
Even though I still regret that I was only half marathon away from the finish, but again, you just take it as it comes.
That's right.
Yeah, and just learn to deal with it. It wasn't disappointment. I know I made the right decision at the time. So I did, and I still stand by I made the right decision.
Yeah, well, you know your body, don't you?
Yeah. I was going to put myself into more danger if I tried to push on.
Yeah.
So it was. But no, that's... What could you say? I find Ironman training and that puts everything back into perspective. You know, you can get carried away with your times and trying to push. Like I know back in the day, like when doing the wee milk series, trying to push 10 lengths out sub 4 minutes or sub 3:30. You know, busting myself and no. Couldn't do it now, couldn't try. So it is, but no, that puts life, and I treat it, you know, if I need to reset, I know do 6 months Ironman training and soon reset you back and put perspective life. You learn to juggle your time better. You learn to spend more time with your family. Think about the ones around you, what's important in your life. So it is. Not going to, have I got the fanciest bike, or I need that for the bike, or I need these carbon fibre runners that's going to get me around the marathon 10 minutes quicker.
Aye. And there's a lot of gimmicks, isn't there? There's a lot of things that you can get caught up in very quickly.
Even the tri-suits now. Back in the day when I was racing along with Sean, there was budgie smugglers and a wee, I don't know what they call them, wee body top vest or something. So it was...
The Speedos?
Yeah, Speedos. And there's, what was it, a couple of years ago, Teresa put up photographs and goes guess the year. There's a picture of me and my Speedos and my wee top. And going guess the year back 1994. That's when it was good.
When you were a machine in the prime, eh?
Oh, definitely.
Let's have a quick chat about your Ironman events then. Your first Ironman would have been, I'm hoping and assuming, would have been a very special thing for you.
Austria 2008. That's when Sean, Peter would have touched on it in his podcast, but Sean gave me a text just out of the blue. He says, I'm entered Austria, Ironman Austria, and he's I'm going, seriously, have you? It was never talked about or thought about, you know. It was just one of them going on the moments. It was like when you sit in the pub over Christmas saying, you want to do this year?
Yeah,
you want to do that? Yeah. It was just one of them moments. And I think Peter was away on holidays at the time too. So we just texted, and next thing you knew, we all entered it.
That was it?
Yeah, that was it, and training started. So it did. But even like, if I progressed back to that a wee bit, that was 2008. There was a guy, Gary Sweenerton, up in Belfast, And I remember the wrestling guy passed away recently, a couple of years ago. He always said to me and my brother, Damien, you're not a true triathlete till you do Hell of the West. And every year when I see him with the race, first thing he say, have you done Hell of the West yet? Have you done?
Right.
So we went down and done it. So we did, and then little did we know, 2 of us had qualified for the Worlds in Switzerland. So we did.
Class.
And that's just probably led on to being competitive and getting. So it was. But then that there led on because Gary would have been looking at Ironman himself back in the day. So that's probably where the secret started then. Because at that stage, probably about nearly 15 years doing triathlon then. So it was. So maybe it was time to take that step up.
You had 15 years of
sprints and standard and halves.
Aye. So you were well versed in triathlon at that point.
Definitely.
So talk to me then about your training then. So whenever you decided, off the back of Sean Hiddy's spur of the moment or whatever, we might get to find out about Sean's journey at some point in the future. But so you've hit the start button here now on the thing. You're on a countdown.
So what we done then, a friend of mine, Paddy McLaughlin in Donegal, coach, he recommended somebody then to help us. No, so we actually went to a coach for our first Ironman to get our training right and all. For example, we started 9 months out. The race was in July. We started around October time training.
Yeah.
So we did. And the swimming was a lot of drill work. So we started off, first swim was a 1 mile test. Just swim a mile as fast as you can and record your time. So my first mile, what did I swim it in? About 34 minutes. Recorded the time. Spent the next block of 10 weeks doing drills and all. Do the swim again. I had it down to 28 minutes.
Right, 6 minutes off.
Yeah.
In 10 weeks of drills.
Yeah.
And therein demonstrates the power of those drills.
Exactly. Exactly. It's not about how hard you can go through the water. So this swimming is very technique.
Yeah.
And then we done another 10 weeks of drills. And I got it sub 25.
Brilliant.
So my swimming's, I'm happy. But same with the biking. We just done an initial test, base level test, and then we worked through the training for 10 weeks, done the same base level test, and that predicted then what we were doing for the next 10 weeks. And then the miles build up. So the first 10 weeks like a base. Next, to get the body used to the training.
Yeah.
Next 10 weeks was another higher intensity. And the last 10 weeks was the 10 weeks where the Ironman training actually started, where you're going doing your 80 mile bikes and like, it was so funny. Me, Sean, and Peter be out training, and we were all early birds. Like even this morning, like we had been done. Our training be what's time now? What?
9:30 in the morning.
Half 9 in the morning. We had been away at 5 o'clock. And one particular moment was we were running. We'd done 100 mile bike and we were running 10 mile. And we were on the 10 mile run at about 11 o'clock that morning, and we met a guy coming past, and first the guy goes, "Well, boys, where you been this morning?"
He wasn't ready for the answer.
And we said, "Oh, we have 100 mile done, and now we're doing our 10 mile run." He just shook the head and went on.
He just thought, no, these boys are mad.
So and this year was before midday, like.
Aye.
But again, that was training the body to be up that early in the morning, because Ironman racing starts at 6.
That's right, yeah.
So it does. But it was good crack, like, and the banter we had out in the long cycles kept each going. And you know, I remember training for one event, I think it was Roth. There was a bigger crowd of us going, and one morning we were meeting at Peter's to go out for the cycle, and now it's we were meeting at 7 o'clock, say, and at 7 o'clock we were leaving, so come and be prepped and ready to go at 7. Boy turned up 3 minutes past 7, we were gone. And he was texting, where are you? And I just got a text back, We were told we were going at 7.
Yeah.
And it was like, yes, again, just being disciplined.
Discipline, yeah, 100%.
So it is.
Yeah. So your first actual event, did it go according to plan?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the swim. We actually sat back. It was a mass start, all Ironman's mass start. You have 2,500 people. And it was over in Austria, and Lake Wörthersee or whatever. So it was started there, but because such a mass start, we actually stood back and let the masses go first. And then we just wished each other good luck and headed into the water. Mm-hmm. And then we were away. And I don't know, any time I was swimming and looking around, to the left, right, people seemed to be away. And I think, am I off course or what? But each time I looked up, the boy was still there. So it seemed I had clear water the whole way, so no trouble at all.
Brilliant.
But I think it was the last 400-600 metres, it all funneled into a canal, and it was like sardines in it. And
oh yes, I know what you mean.
It was madness.
That's a good way of describing it.
Yeah, and even trying to maintain a swim stroke. And now Teresa was there with me, even Ronan, the 2 kids, they were only like 5 and 3. But somehow Teresa was able to spot me and all that, and I had photographs of me swimming up the canal. Couldn't believe it. So it was great event. And I think it was Austria that there was a thunderstorm on the bike.
Right.
And all the tanned Europeans were standing under the trees and wondering, why is this mad Irish guy cycling down hills? Like, I can't descend. Can't go down the hill fast at all.
Right.
But I thought it was great. I go down the hill. And I had this chain gang of boys behind me following my line down. I said, boys, you're wasting my time. They're following me. And they said, no, we can't cycle in that. We don't know how to cycle.
Probably didn't have the experience.
They didn't have the experience.
We've got plenty of experience cycling in the rain in Ireland.
Exactly.
I mean, this year, this winter past, from 23 through to 24, I think we're now in the middle of May. We've had 3 Sundays where it hasn't been raining.
No.
Well,
luckily, if I'd met together, she'd been out in the bike this morning before it was chatting to you.
It's 20 degrees today, and we'll be liggered in factor 50 if we're going to do anything.
Nah,
do you know what I mean?
I should be acclimatising for Atlanta next week.
Uh-huh. So you got through Austria.
Yeah.
Proud moment.
Proud moment, brilliant, and being there with Teresa and the kids, seeing it. And one thing I learned, I was on the run and I was having a real low moment on the run, and I just come around this corner and next thing I heard my name shouted, and it was Teresa and the kids. And seeing them, I just stopped for that few minutes and chatted to them, and actually got an ice cream as well.
Oh, brilliant.
So that definitely get an ice cream either race in the hot country and Ironman. But it totally revived me and rejuvenated me and got me going again.
Aye.
Because from your own experience, you do get your highs and lows throughout it, and it's getting through that. It's
getting through them wee lows, isn't it?
Yeah, and that area was a real turning point, seeing them, and then of course Sean's family were out, and Peter's family there, so it was having these, they were all dotted around the run route where you needed the most.
Uh-huh.
So it was, but it was great there coming over the line, like the last mile, and you can hear the microphones and the music and everything, you're just pumping it. I think the sound of it just brings you home.
Aye, it's a phenomenal feeling, isn't it? It's a brilliant thing. I've only done it once. It's something that I do intend doing again.
Good man.
I definitely want to do Ironman again. I want to do another full distance Ironman.
Good man.
Don't know when, don't know where. Sound like a song now, but I would love it. I would love to do Ireland again if it came back. I would like to do that. And
Ireland's a tough country for an Ironman.
It's a tough course, and sea swim's always going to be iffy as well. But I like the idea of having spoken to both yourself now and Peter in relation to the Austria. It sounds like a nice one as well with that lake swim.
There's plenty of great ones, like Copenhagen seems to be good from chat to the boys
Yes.
last year.
Yeah.
Done it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's the PD course, and you want to go for a time.
Alright. So of the other 6 or the other 5, you've got what?
We have Austria, we have Roth, we have Germany. No, that's Roth. Germany. What's that? Barcelona.
Yeah, Spain. Yeah.
Mallorca, Galway, and
Lanzarote.
Yeah. So that's.
Now, if you were to rank those experiences, there must be some highs. There must be some highs and lows. Probably highs and lows within each of those.
Oh, aye.
Each individual event has high or low.
Yeah.
What's your standouts of those? What are you thinking as you look? Roth
was the one probably where I learned most about myself. So it was. I was in good shape for Roth. I was that confident with it that I pushed myself up a bit, you know, in my sometimes and bike times and all.
Yeah.
Just to get a good start on it. You know, because Roth's like a PB course and all, so right, mindset set, I'm going to go. Roth's up a big canal, you swim up a big canal, turn around and come back down. So it is as wave starts.
Okay.
But I was standing in my pen ready to start, and this at 6 in the morning, the sun was shining, and I heard a pop. There goes somebody's tyres. Right, busted in the heat.
Right.
Too much pressure or something in them.
That's
grand. Never thought nothing of it. Got in, had a good swim. Brought, and what did I do? I'd done a 106 swim.
Class.
So I was happy with that. I got out of water, wasn't breathless or anything. I was relaxed and out, wetsuit off and all into my transition zone where my bike was and all. Wetsuit changed into my cycle gear, sunscreen on. Lifted the bike, started running, and just something doesn't feel right here. Doesn't feel right. I just knew from holding the seat and pushing the bike, something's not right here. My freaking back wheel had busted.
It was your wheel. You heard
my wheel that probably popped. I heard popping. So So right, take a deep breath. Right, let's get this changed. And meantime, everybody around me, the bike, each wave had their own like transition areas, and my whole wave was filing into past me at the time. So I dragged back wheel off, stuff out of the saddlebag, off with a tyre and all, CO2 on the wee canisters, and started blowing it up. What did I forget in my rush? I never checked if I had the tube in right.
Right.
There was an edge of the tube sitting outside the tyre.
Oh, Christ.
CO2 blew it up. Next thing, bang, the tube went again because it got nipped on the outside of the tyre.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And did you hear the crowd? There was a crowd gathered around me, and all you hear was, oh.
The side show that was the Eannetta show here on the side, and you're like...
Yeah, because everybody else passed
Jesus.
on. And I was the only one left in my section of the transition. And the crowd had kind of gathered around, and they went, oh. And nobody can help you.
Isn't anybody going to help this poor man?
So I had to do it. So, right, you've come this far, and you're not going to let this bit. You can't come this far and not finish. So I had 2 tubes for me.
Right.
So got it out, changed again, and I pumped it up this time.
Yes.
I didn't use the CO2, made sure it was in. Didn't use CO2, pumped it up. So I did, and then I started pushing out, started moving out, and then the big roar. But it took me over 20 minutes. I spent in transition trying to change.
I was gonna ask. I was curious. 20 minutes for 2.
I know, but
2 changes isn't
the ones
too
at
bad.
home were all texting, going, "What's happened, Conor? Is he having this dinner in transition or what? What's happened here?
He's conditioning the hair and all that, you know.
You know, is he dying between his toes or something?
Aye.
So, but I got going then, and I thought, right, in the way of the transition, I get one of the big track pumps and pump up. There was none there. And all I had was maybe just the wee hand pump.
The wee tiny one, about 8-inch, 6-inch job.
You know, it doesn't put as much pressure in. I thought, right, okay. Got on the bike, right, and I started watching the road ahead for any hazards, no pothole, manhole covers, no potholes in the rough, like, but
yeah.
no, I started watching because there's because if I puncture, I've no tubes, no nothing.
That's game over.
Yeah. Or I sit and wait for the mechanics to come round and help me because there's roving mechanics on the course. But I can do it in hours before anybody comes.
Yeah, that's right.
So done that for about 30 or 40 miles, and then I said, frig this. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So the head started coming back into race mode. So I did. So away I went down, and then just started getting into it and started feeling the power coming through and started relaxing, started to feel myself again.
Aye.
So it is because I'd say if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I just put it into fate.
Yeah.
So it
you had done everything that you could.
Yes. And then coming round then, we climbed Salzburg Hill. We went and seen it a couple of days before and we were going, my God, bad enough trying to drive a car up it, never mind trying to cycle up it. But I swear I was doing the Tour de France because you couldn't see the hill with the crowds. And then as you went along, it was like single file and the crowds just parted. So it did, and you could feel the pats in your back. And you could actually stop pedalling and you feel you were being pushed up the hill by everybody. And once I got to the top, I wanted to turn around and do it again.
You wanted to go back for more?
Yeah, but no, it was good. And I was out, and there's a stage in the bike. Chrissy Wellington was there, and she broke the world record that year.
Maybe.
And she finished something like 5th or 6th overall in the men's field. But she passed me. And she had a chain gang of about 8 pro men sitting behind her.
Right.
Just come past like a train,
Yeah.
I might as well have been standing on the side of the road to speed to the road.
It's unreal whenever that happens,
Exactly.
isn't it?
I was just in awe of it, But then I just got on my own race, got off the bike, looked at what I'd done a 5-hour 20 bike. Couldn't believe it. And that was my PB in the bike and still is my PB.
That's unreal.
So there's even with the hiccups to the punchers and
and running probably on low pressure on the back too.
Never had the right pressure on it. And then that set me up great then for the run, and I'd done then just under a 5-hour marathon then.
Brilliant.
So it is. I was coming over the line, coming into the finish, and he was giving out the medals. Chrissy Wellington.
Brilliant.
So she was. And I actually got her to sign my medal and all too, so I'm all signed.
Nice
and
touch.
She was the world champion. It was announced that day too that she had broke the world record. And then a couple of years, that was 2012. Met her again then, 2016 in Galway, and she still remembered me. She goes, you were in Germany, weren't you? So she was an ambassador then for Challenge. And it was Challenge Galway, was the Ironman then.
And that really is, whenever I said highs and lows, do you just tick those boxes with some style there? The lows and despair and horror of the puncture, and then another puncture, and then this, that, and then the highs of world champion zooming past you, and then getting the medal from her at the end. That
was great. But now I carry a couple of patches. I learned a lesson from that, learn myself a decent patches. Should go again or.
Aye.
It is. I always learn something from them.
Once bitten, twice shy.
Exactly.
Twice bitten, even more cautious.
Yeah.
So you've done Barcelona, I've been told, a good course to do.
Barcelona's a good course, but to me, that's my own personal opinion now.
Yeah.
But it's a draft fest.
Aye.
If you want to challenge yourself, go to Barcelona if you want to qualify and get a time and go to World Championships for that. Because I know boys that went to Barcelona specifically to get a sub-10 hour Ironman.
Aye. So it's a PB course. It's
PB
flat.
course and all, and flat. And I'm not taking away from the organisation and that of it.
No.
To me, from my own side, because from my experiences, I've been on both sides of the fence. I've refereed races, technical officials at races, and all. And to me, like, it was just a free for all for whoever wants. At times, but no, Barcelona. Special memories. Barcelona. I done that in memory of my brother Sean.
All right.
Passed away the year before.
Sean and I were in the same class.
That's right.
At school, God rest him, is right.
So I did. So I just done that. I just went out. Daddy come out with me to it, and my sisters and all. Everybody was out at it, and I just something I wanted to do. Just get round. Like even now, I can find the goosebumps just talking about it.
Aye. There's all we've all got sort of wee special things that we do and things that inspire us and make us want to go for these events, and that's the lovely tribute.
That's the main reason why I done it. All the time. Like who else? Peter Scaffington and Aidan Boucher's done it.
Oh yes,
I have to give Aidan a fantastic race.
Yeah.
So I did. I think he got 10 hours something.
Brilliant.
So it is. And he met me in the run and he stopped and he said, "Come on, I'll run with you." I told him, "You F away off. You're the one getting the time here. Go away and leave me alone." No, like I don't want to stop him from this time, but the fact that just showed the camaraderie within us.
Yes.
That we were supporting each other and helping each other through it.
And it's a class thing, isn't it? Like, you know, we're our wee Oma club's really good at that.
Yeah.
You know, we really are.
You know, like he was stopping, going for a 10-hour Ironman. To say, "I'll run with you." I'll give you a toe up there, so you go.
So the flats of Barcelona to the hills of Lanzarote. That's one extreme to the other then, really.
Lanzarote's always been a bucket race. Lanzarote's been, you know, it's been going longer than as long as Kona, which is where the World Championships be. You have to qualify for Kona. And they always said that Lanzarote was tougher than Kona. So to me, my mindset was, if I can do Lanzarote, I can do anywhere. So it is. And Lanzarote's still a draw now. Like, you know, there's always something you learn from it every time you go to it. You know, like this year, if I was doing it, would be my third attempt at it.
Yeah.
But at the minute, it's one each. One to me, one to Lanzarote.
It's 1-1, yeah.
1-1, you know. So now I've got a reprieve to next year.
Lanzarote is one that I've been speaking. I mean, everybody that I've been speaking to tips their hat towards Lanzarote with regards to the challenge that it is. And you're quite right; they're all challenges in their own right. But there's something I like about that idea that if you can do Lanzarote, you can do anyone. Yeah. And I'm getting goosebumps on my back as I'm saying this out loud, and I don't even believe that I am saying this out loud, but it's the one that's kind of floating my boat at the minute. I think if I'm going to go abroad, that's the one I'll go for. Yeah. Because there's a number of challenges. Firstly, I don't do well in the heat, so that will be a challenge. Yeah, that's it. My biking probably isn't that wild strong. Still, I'm only in this kind of 2 or 3 years, probably 3 years now, giving it a sort of a decent crack. So I'll be very conscious that I would need to build me biking to deal with the elevation. I have cycled out there, but I haven't cycled 112 mile over that elevation. No.
Lanzarote is the place, you know. Even for the training camps, I feel you have to be fit. You know, with the club camps in March, if you're going to go out and then you're either going for a holiday or you're going out to improve your fitness more. Aye. So because they're relentless. Aye.
And I think if you're going to tackle Lanzarote, you need to be given it the respect that it deserves. Definitely, you know, there's no point going out there and treating it like a Barcelona. You know, if you think I've done Barcelona, I'll do Lanzarote next year for the crack.
Two different
animals. You know, if
don't get me wrong, Barcelona will test you too. You know, it's a flat.
It's 140 mile, whatever way you look at it. Yeah. You know, but
no, I'm not taking away from it or anything. No. But at the end of the day, you know, you've got the hills, the wind, and the heat, and Lanzarote to deal as well. So it is.
So Lanzarote was your last one then?
Yeah.
and you've deferred for this year for health reasons. So are you going to maybe think about giving Lanza another crack next year, or are you going to defer it to a different year?
I can only defer it to once, so it's rain or shine next year.
Right,
it's
okay.
this time next year. So I hope to be a lot trimmer, and if all goes to plan, but they're small stepping stones. You know, I've 12 months now, I'm already looking. I'm going out next week to the race, so I'm still bringing my bike and all. I'm going to go out cycling with the crew, you know, just do what they're doing in the swims.
Yeah.
So that's kind of me starting my journey for the next 12 months. And as you know yourself, stuff will get in the way, but small steps. If I can just get that built now and do these wee bits. No, I've entered races over the summer now, you know. But again, no, I've sheep came at the end of June, I've tried throwing at the end of July. They're stepping stones.
Yeah.
No, how's my biking going? How's my running going? I might only get the 5k if they're running then a bit. But if I had a good bike off it, right, I know my biking's coming in, then you'd look at me running. My running's atrocious at the minute.
So you're able to assess where you're at with each of these small
That's
things?
The thing, stepping stones. I'll pick key races throughout the summer to see, and they're all like 4 to 5 weeks apart. So enough to...
And that's kind of a wee throwback to your first experience, that 10-week thing and that baseline, and then the next one.
That's basically it, yeah. And then come the end of the season, take the few weeks rest you normally do, and then less work, and then focus then the 30 weeks into Lanzarote.
Brilliant. I would have no doubt that you'll be there, and it'll be a bittersweet thing for you, I suppose, being there to spectate, knowing that you maybe could have been...
don't talk to me. I've gone to races before watching, and I went to Kenmare one year to half Ironman to watch it. I tore my calf about 2 weeks before, so I couldn't do it. But the hotel and all had been paid for, so I went on down, standing on the pier watching, and really jumped in after them. It's just an age wanting to be there and do it.
But I know that you're... You know, if anybody will, I know that you'll be taking wee mental snapshots when you're at the start line in Lanzarote. Now, you'll not be wearing your wetsuit, but I know you'll be making wee photographic memory snapshots, and you'll be thinking, this is 1 year out from me coming back here, and I'll be wearing my wetsuit, I'll have one of them green caps on me, and I'll be getting into the sardine mix.
Yeah. No, I'm actually... buzzing about. I'm looking forward to actually going out with the morning swims now next week. I'm out there, you know, where they go over the course and that, and I'm trying to get up the donkey track.
The donkey track, that'll be no bother to you. What about a rock tune?
Well,
are you a rocker? Are you?
All sorts. I don't actually, when I'm training, I don't actually listen to music.
I'm the same, I don't either.
I think about when you're doing a race, you don't have the music to refer to, so I just try to work off what's around me. But standing on the start of an Ironman race and hearing AC/DC Thunder Rock sent shivers down my spine, and I'm going to hear that next Saturday in Lanza.
It sounds like a good one to put in there.
Definitely. Happy days.
There's nothing quite like the sound of that song, hey, whenever you're standing
ready
to get into the water, and I remember in Cork I was just bouncing, just hopping, just ready to go, like in a
just something about that tune just sends the shivers down me.
It's just unreal, and the fireworks and the
But that's what I associate with now. Well, every time of year I find myself visualising back to an Ironman start. I find the Ironman, or even any races that I do now.
Yeah.
Just thinking back to the start where you're standing there and just waiting for the buzzer to go.
It's a phenomenal experience. It's highly recommended.
Definitely. It's good.
So, what are you thinking then now off the back of having looked back over your Ironman races? You know, what's your thoughts like now?
I enjoy the sport. I enjoy it. I think what I like the most about it, and particularly that I see in my triathlon club, is the ethos of it's all inclusive.
Aye.
It doesn't matter where you're from or shape, size, whatever, your abilities for that, it's open to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so accommodating. And when I say about accommodating, like, we were racing at the Worlds in 2006, and we had finished our race along with a guy from Strabane, Sean Doherty, and we were heading back to our accommodation, and there's this girl from New Zealand sitting on the side of the road with her bike, tears bawling out of her. She trained all year, qualified for the Worlds, and now she's sitting with a puncture and nothing to fix it.
Right.
And back then, you're not allowed outside assistance.
Yes.
And there was marshals passing all the time. So what we done, we took off the front wheel of one of our bikes, gave it to her, told her to pretend to fix it, while we stood round, two of the other guys took our wheel and started fixing it while we stood round, blocking it from being seen. The guys had it fixed in a couple of 7 minutes, swapped the wheels over, put it back on their bike, sent her off on her way.
Brilliant.
We met her that night then in the marquee afterwards at presentations. She sat with us that night, chatting away and all. And then who turned out to be her friend and teammate, but was Hamish Carter, who finished second in the elite race.
Right.
So he came and joined us, along with Tim Dawn, who became the world champion from England.
There you go.
Come and sat with us then that night, and we were there all night. And 2 Australians came in later on, about 1 o'clock in the morning, and come over to our table and go, "Are you Irish?" And we, "Yeah." And the guy told you. And we go, what do you mean? They had a bet on who'd be the last team standing in the beer tent. And who was it? The Irish.
Oh, of course, had to be.
And we still had the world champion Tim Dawn sitting with us, and the ranked number 2 Hamish Carter
from
New Zealand sitting with us.
They had taught you a thing or two about triathlon, but you were showing them a thing or two about drinking.
Exactly. you had to celebrate. But overall, seeing them at triathlon club from the start, like, we were open to anybody. We said no to nobody. And I love seeing people coming along and pushing themselves. Like, as I said to you at the start, I felt out in the comfort zone sitting here. But now as it's going on, I'm starting to get carried away now.
There'll be no stopping you.
Exactly. But seeing that, I love coming along doing, like, the fact that these ones going to do Lanzarote next week is unbelievable, and the doubts that they've had throughout their journey. And I said, that's your training. What you do next week's only the end goal. You've done your Ironman over the last 6 months.
That's right.
So you have,
all
you're doing is going down the road to Wrestling Ball or James McManus. Such a fantastic event. And how many do we have? We must make up half the field.
Aye, I think over 40 of us there last time.
I've been there, and even now my daughter Cara doing it. So it is.
Yeah.
So I don't mind sitting back and enjoying it with her.
Aye.
And I don't care. Like, I done Galway triathlon. When did I do Galway? It was 2016. I was last over the line, but I swore I won it. The way everybody was going on.
Aye.
That I was first up and giving me a big massive tanker of beer and setting off the fireworks.
Class.
And I swore, and the guy that won the race about 6 hours previously was there and presented me with my medal and everything. Even though I was last over the line.
But that's that sort of all-inclusive support that comes with the triathlon community.
Yeah. And you see now next Thursday night when open water starts, how many people, I can't swim open water. But you give them now over the next, coming to us on a Thursday night, and by the end of the summer, what do you think they'll be doing?
Oh, I know what they'll be doing. Finishing triathlons in open water.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I've seen that myself, it's something I take great pleasure in, is seeing those people going in. Because swimming in our local lake is very, very different from maybe another lake, in that the water that we swim in it's tainted, there's a colour to it, and there's a darkness to it, there's a peaty bottom on the bottom of the loch, which means there's no light reflected back up. So it's like swimming in Coca-Cola. Your mind's doing overtime, Loch Ness Monster and all sorts of things.
But the thing about our club, no matter what agenda each individual member has, they always have the time to help somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, whether they're struggling in a group cycle.
That's right. Aye,
and even at the run session, I know I don't run with the main pack, and I still do the session, but I do it on the outside of the track. But I'm still included in it.
Absolutely.
Because there's times in that outside running the track, once I've come over to run with me, you know, to do, I think I'll stick with your pace.
Yeah.
You know, I'm finding that a bit intense at the minute.
Aye.
And
that's why important as well, you know, for people to understand that might be thinking about getting into triathlon and maybe doubting themselves that
it's an elitist sport. Way back years where everybody thought it's too elitist.
Aye.
You know,
it's not now, isn't it? No?
It's not at all.
The other thing then, Conor, that I've wanted to just chat to you very briefly about was, you know, the influence that you have had on your family and particularly on your own children. And it's lovely to see Cara, your daughter, taking place in the club and taking part in the events. And I know it was something that drove me to complete Ironman, that idea that you can do anything when you put your mind to it.
Yes.
Because monkey see, monkey do.
Exactly. No, definitely. No, my kids are, I think that people have said they've been reared in triathlon. You know, I've done more every year since it started in 2000. So that's like 24 years of it. And my kids have been there since the start, crossing the line with me each time. And now this year will be a year that Cara will be crossing the line doing it.
Aye.
With me.
Yeah.
And that's not to say Aoife always enjoyed coming out cycling with me. So she did, and she's one that drives me to the gym to be a gym buddy. And then Ronan, the mountain biker, like a daredevil. So that's, well, I need to get his bike handling skills to match what he does.
Yeah.
But again, out mountain hiking with him has made a difference to the road biking.
And they didn't pick it up off the street. You know, they seen their old man doing all these things from they were nippers, and lo and behold, they've all got an interest in some level of fitness and exercise.
Oh, definitely. Like, it's all interlinked. There's Aoife with the gym. She's going to the gym, you coming. You know, if that's a strength and conditioning, even though I'm not a gym bunny, I'd rather be outside.
Aye.
So it is. And Ronan, I could land home and find the van packed with the 2 mountain bikes and go on one out in the mountain bikes.
Yeah.
You know, and then Carl would be going, right, we're over the lock for a run. And you know, so the three of them would be dragging me something like that.
And it's nice to be able to feed off their enthusiasm as well, isn't it? Yes. You know, the way you're saying there that each of your children are involved in you and bringing you on.
They are.
You know,
there's an element there that they would have picked up from back in the day when they were growing up and seeing what I was at.
Well, that's exactly it. So when you were encouraging them and now they're encouraging you, it's come full circle, and lo and behold, you have your own wee supportive community it's nearly like a wee microcosm of what the Oma Tri Club is like. Exactly. That family feel to it, everybody pulling along in the same train of thought, everybody encouraging everybody supportive of each other.
Exactly. Like, you only have to look at this weather and see what is dragging out. Everybody's all coming out. You know, and they're all getting it, and they're not being put off. You know, you have Desi taking that third group now in the bike, and you know they're 20-25 miles, and it's only as quick as the slowest person there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not putting off. Even if, like, I'm trying to get Cara now to get used to cleats on the bike.
Yes.
So that would be an ideal opportunity to take her out in that there third group now.
Yeah.
And get her used to cleats and all. But yet, she's stuck in the middle of GCSEs, so she'll be doing nothing.
Cursed GCSEs get in the way of everything.
Exactly.
I know.
As long as the exam weather lasts, I'm not complaining.
Well, that's it. We can train away in the background and they can stick to the books for the next couple of weeks.
Exactly. But you know, it's all inclusive. You know, like, I know Karen can go to a session and there's always somebody watching. Therefore, you know, to help her out.
Oh, aye.
You know, get sucked away into my own training.
Yeah.
You know.
No, there is a big family feel to it, like, isn't there?
It is. You know, it's you come in, and the fact that you can try a few taster sessions to see if it's what you want to do, even helps, and that you're not committing yourself.
We're a few weeks out now from our very own event too. Try the Lock. It's always the first Saturday in August.
It is.
Will you be entering it this year?
I am entered because the last couple of years I've been doing martial, and how that ended up was because I'd done TOs, I knew the race referee that was there a couple of years ago, and he was walking around, and he asked two particular of my tribe club members who's in charge of transitioning the bike and dismount, and I was only walking past. The two boys turned and pointed at me and said, "He's in charge." And your man, the race referee, says, "Not a problem, everything's all sorted." And he just walked off.
That's who you know, eh?
Exactly, it's not who you are, so you know.
So,
of course, then the two of my tribe boys walked up, I'll not name them.
So you're going to go for a low profile thing and actually take part in the race and not leave yourself exposed like that?
Exactly, but it could be a father versus daughter session again.
Oh, brilliant. We'll look forward to that. Conor, thanks very much for taking the time out and sharing your stories, and you're no doubt will continue to motivate and inspire many of us in the club and your own
I enjoy
family.
it. I'm actually very proud of the club, sitting back watching what's going on. But as I say all the time at the AGM, I'm always in the peripheries.
Yes.
You know, if anything's needed or want done.
Aye. Well, Conor, all I want to do now is wish you all the very best for the future. Have a nice trip and enjoy the training out in Lanzarote.
I'm looking forward to the holiday.
Enjoy the holiday. Enjoy the spectacle that is Ironman.
Oh, definitely.
And no doubt you'll be there next year to smash it.
Well, I'll be there to finish.
We'll be there to finish. And we'll finish on that.
Yeah, cheers, Michael. Thank you.
Thank you.